what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jordan, and in today's video, I'm going to be discussing my personal experience on why and how I quit my corporate job, and really everything that I've just been experiencing over the past year. So if that is something that you're interested in, go ahead and stick around. From a very early age in life, I was conditioned that, you're supposed to go to college, you're supposed to get that good paying job, you're supposed to work there for 40 years or until you're able to afford to retire. Maybe have a family in between there, and that's pretty much your life. And I knew that that is something that just did not resonate with me, but I still did it. I still went to college, I got the job, and I was not happy. I did end up leaving my first job right out of college, moved to another one because it was paying more money, it was remote, and it was a company that I really would have been able to climb that corporate ladder, but I learned on very quickly that I knew that it wasn't going to be my forever, and really solidified that I wasn't meant to work the typical 9 to 5. In a lot of my previous jobs, I'm not even gonna lie, I was always feeling pretty bitter in them because I was never truly doing anything that I was passionate about. I was working for someone else to make them more money, I was living for the weekends, and so I never really felt like I had any type of purpose in those jobs that I had. So at my last job, I knew very early on that it wasn't going to be something that I stayed with for a long time, but I was terrified to quit. I always had those voices in the back of my mind telling me, you have to have a backup plan, you can't quit this job before you have another one, even like you can't be doing things on your own, you need to be working for someone else, how are you going to support yourself? And also just, having the fear of the unknown. So it really did take me a long time to quit my job. I don't have anybody in my family who hasn't followed that structure, so really thinking about me being the first one in the family to kind of step outside of the lines and create this new path of entrepreneurship or kind of creating my own path in life, it was terrifying. I waited a little bit over a year and a half to finally take the leap of faith and quit my job. And even when I did quit, I was still absolutely terrified. I felt so good after I did it. I'm not even gonna lie, I got off the phone with my manager bawling my eyes out because I was so relieved. I felt all that pressure coming off, but I was also like, okay, what's next? I think I was just at the breaking point of really kind of remembering stories of elderly people on their deathbed or just at their end of life, and just regretting that they never followed their passion, they didn't take more risks, they stayed in their comfort zone, they lived to make other people happy. And those words were heavily weighing on me because I know that I don't want to be in that same situation. I'm also somebody who has a huge fear of just existing in this life. I know I want to be able to make an impact somehow, so the idea of sticking with a company for 40 plus years and not truly living out my passion was something that really triggered me in the sense of knowing that I needed to get out. So with all of that being said, I did not have a backup plan. I had really no idea what I was going to do, but I knew that I needed to bet on myself and take this leap of faith and truly just trust the process, that everything was gonna work out for me no matter what. I was constantly reflecting back in kind of affirming to myself that I create my reality, I'm the one who's in control. So if I'm the one who's, getting up every day, putting in the work, doing whatever I needed to do, I knew that everything was gonna work out for me and that it was gonna be okay. I will say that when I told my parents that I quit my corporate job, them being pissed is an understatement. They were extremely disappointed, confused, sad, worried, all of those things, because again, I am the one who is creating the blueprint of this new structure, this new reality. And of course they're gonna be confused. Of course they're gonna be scared and worried for me. So it was, and still is, a lot of trying to have these open conversations to help them understand kind of why I'm doing it, but also coming to realization and accepting that it's okay if they don't fully understand my why or kind of the process of everything, because at the end of the day, it's my journey, it's not theirs. I have struggled with people-pleasing tendencies my entire life, so having these conversations have been extremely hard for me because I want to make them happy. I've always wanted to make them happy, you know, go to college, get the job, do the thing. But I knew that by doing that and by living for them, I wasn't living my authentic self. So by being open and honest with them, even if they don't agree with me and they don't understand, I know that I am truly living in my authentic self because I'm standing up for myself. I'm gonna do what's gonna make me happy. And it's not to say that I'm rude to them or in any way. I'm just explaining to them that I'm doing this for me because it's gonna make me happy. I only have one life, and you know, I hear their concerns, I hear their worries, but at the end of the day, again, like, I need to do what's best for me. Something else that I've really had to adopt since this process of taking this leap of faith and betting on myself is getting out of my comfort zone. So of course, by taking this leap of faith, that was a huge risk of, you know, the fear of the unknown, getting out of my comfort zone, but it has been a constant lesson that I've had to learn and accept throughout this process as well. I'm constantly learning new skills and trying new things, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, and really having to put myself out there, get out of my comfort zone to see what works and what doesn't work. By quitting my job, I have learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about what I'm interested in, my passions, you know, the type of person that I am, the lifestyle that I want to have. So by taking this second leap of faith of putting myself out there more on social media and creating these videos, I'm really hopeful in seeing a big difference that this is just another stepping stone to fully living my authentic self. And I will say it hasn't been all rainbows and butterflies. There have been many hard lessons that I've had to learn. There's been extremely hard conversations that I've had to have. And again, I just kind of ground myself in all of that, and I feel the feelings, I process everything, and then I kind of remember that it's all a part of the journey, and just to really trust the process and accept, you know, that everything is happening for my divine purpose. Then really backing up and kind of remembering my why I'm doing this in the first place, why I want to be doing things on my own and not working for somebody else. So there have been a lot of eye-opening kind of events and circumstances that have had, but again, I wouldn't have changed it for anything. I think by me continuing down this journey of just trying as many things as possible and following my intuition with all of this, I truly feel that come the end of my life, I am not going to have any regrets. You know, that's something also that I've had a big fear about, because we hear those stories from maybe older people saying that they wish they would have done this, and this. I know by me kind of taking these steps and just doing it, just going for it, I know that I'm not going to have nearly as many regrets, you know, if I continue down this path, hopefully 0 regrets, because I'm not letting the fear of other people's judgment or criticism or whatever it is, and truly just reflecting inward and focusing on myself and what's going to make me happy, and following those kind of nudges I get on which direction to go. I know that at the end of my life, I'm gonna be so happy and so satisfied. Even if I do fail at certain things, you know, at least I can check it off my box and saying, I'm so glad that I did do it and tried it, rather than I really wish I would have done that. And just as a disclaimer, you know, I'm not telling you to go and quit your job if you don't feel comfortable doing it, or if you don't have that inkling to go and do it. But I do want to remind you that on the other side of fear is success. So even if it has nothing to do with quitting your job, if it's something with putting yourself out there more on social media, or going and taking those photos to be a photographer, putting yourself out there, creating art, or whatever it is, I highly recommend you just to do it, because again, even if it's something that doesn't, replace your income, or it's something that's not as big as what you had hoped for, at least you went and you tried it and you have no regrets later on in life. So with all of that being said, I will just encourage you to keep on moving forward, to keep on pushing and following that inner guide that you hear, or that push that you have. Just go and take that first step, because the first step is always the hardest. And then after that, once you start to get that momentum, everything does really start to become easier. So I would say just keep on ignoring all of the noise that you hear from the outside world and just follow your passions. Keep on doing what you are interested in and what you're going to be proud of at the end of your life, because no one else is going to do it for you, and this is the only life we have, so you might as well at least try things and see what works and what doesn't work. Quitting my corporate job has probably been one of the best things that I've ever done with my life, and I would do it over again 10 times if I could, just to go back to remember that feeling of relief and just excitement for the unknown, because once I quit, I was basically creating a whole new me, and honestly, I haven't looked back since. That is pretty much it. I hope that this video gave you the encouragement you needed to take that next step, whatever it may be, and just remember that you are in control of your reality. You're the one that is going to be able to push you forward and take new steps, or to stay in your same position. Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. Do the things that scare you, get out of your comfort zone, and never forget to always follow your passions. Thank you guys, as always, for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next week.